Hi everybody, this is Craig. I'm your instructor for FND 510. I've gotten some questions about the Fieldwork project, and so I just want to give you a little bit more information about it. You're now looking at the course homepage. I just want to remind you that if in your course content you don't see this word home right here, it means you're not at the very top level of the course content. So for example, if you're in here and you see that, Introduction to the Course, instead of the word home here, you have to click on the home button here to go back to the home where you have all of the modules listed. So if you want to find out about the Fieldwork project, the place to do that is to go into the Ongoing Major Projects module. And there are two there. What are the ongoing major projects? There is your Fieldwork project, and there is your Statement of Educational Philosophy. If you click on the Fieldwork project thing here, you'll come to the module, and there's just one file in it, which is this file right here. Which describes the Fieldwork project in somewhat more detail. So this is what's from the syllabus. So if you look at the syllabus, you can see all of this information there. The end result of the Fieldwork project is going to be a paper and a virtual presentation. The first thing that's needed, though, is the one-page proposal. The one-page proposal for your Fieldwork project is due at the end of week 2. That is not this coming Sunday night, but the Sunday night following. So the one-page proposal should include, and this is very specific here, should include the question to be addressed, how you'll conduct your inquiry, a statement of relevance to the class, referring to the course goals and major topics from the syllabus, what you hope to gain by doing the project, what you hope to gain by doing the project, and what kind of data you will be collecting. What I suggest you do is that you just use these as headings in your one-page proposal. So questions to be addressed, how I'll conduct my inquiry, relevance to the class, what I hope to gain, and what kind of data I'll be collecting. And you just describe those in one page. Don't go over one page, just try to keep it fairly brief and fairly simple. I see that it also says that feedback will be given on your proposal by the following week, by the end of the following week. Generally, what I'll do is I'll respond to it once you send it, and then we can maybe have some back and forth if I'm not totally satisfied with what your proposal says. However, if your proposal includes all those sections, and if it seems to me from what you say that it is related to the course and that it is a project that is actually doable, then I'm going to approve it. Now keep in mind that you have to spend 15 hours collecting information or data on this project. The 15 hours is a requirement of the course because the course is giving you course credit for having done this project, and there are certain time requirements there. In terms of the 15 hours is actually collecting data or information. So if you're out observing in the field, if you're interviewing someone, if you're reading newspaper articles about your topic, if you're doing internet research or library research, if you're going and visiting a site, if you're taking photographs, that's all included within the 15 hours. And you need to keep a log of your 15 hours, the date, the time, what you did over the course of the project. It's fine if you exceed 15 hours, but you can't have fewer than 15 fieldwork hours. Notice that the fieldwork hours are about the data collection. The fieldwork hours does not include any time you might spend on the proposal, any time you might spend on the final paper, or any time you spend on the presentation. You can consider those activities homework for the fieldwork, and that's in addition to the 15 hours. So this is from the syllabus. Now there's more information on the syllabus. If you go back to the course homepage by clicking that link right there, and you go back to home on your content by clicking that link right there, and then you go to Introduction to the Course, where it says read the syllabus and examine the course structure. That will take you to a link to the syllabus. So here's the syllabus. And if you scroll down on the syllabus, you will notice there's this whole section 2+1 format, fieldwork requirement. So the bold type in this first paragraph is from the college's conceptual framework, which is our overall guiding principles, philosophy, mission, if you will. So you can see that this is something that is related pretty closely to our larger mission. So let's just look at this. Instructors will encourage all students to conceptualize, that is, think about, and conduct, that is, to do, a site-based project that is consistent with the goals and expectations of their programs. Each of you might be in a different program: special education, elementary education, secondary education, etc. So what I'm hoping is that you do something that's relevant to your program and your larger purposes in coming to NLU. In other words, everyone won't do the same thing. You'll do things that are related to your interests, related to what it is you're studying. The projects will enable students to synthesize and apply what you're learning in class to particular questions and or situations experienced in schools and communities. All right, findings will be presented to the class through the virtual presentation. You have to allocate at least 15 hours to the site-based project. All right, and I'm supposed to meet with each of you to guide you in your assignments. Now, because this is an online class, I won't be meeting face-to-face, but when we do our back and forth on the proposals and when we have email back and forth about your project, and when I provide feedback to you on your virtual presentation, that is what that means in that case. So this is a list of the kinds of projects that you can do: service learning, interviews, examining the history of something, investigating the history of a particular school, investigating a museum education program, looking at a union contract, visiting an academy, magnet school, or charter school and learn about how those schools have developed in Chicago, look at internet data, look at technologies, look at the history of technology. You could talk to a teacher about their use of technology, maybe a veteran teacher who's seen changes in technology over time. In any case, what you're doing is you're doing data collection, information collection on a particular question, which means that your question should at least have some aspect of it that is a question that can be answered by collecting information or data. An empirical question. What has been the history of charter schools in Chicago? That's a question that can be answered by doing investigations. What are some of the ways that veteran teachers are responding to the coming changes of the Common Core? That might be a question that certainly could be answered through interviews with teachers. You don't want to frame your question too broadly. Like, you don't want to say something like, what is the purpose of schools in America? Because how do you answer that question, right? I mean, there are so many schools and there are so many different purposes. So you want to have something that can be answered through this small inquiry-based, site-based study that you're going to do. So that's pretty much all the guidance that I can give you. There are specifics listed here in the syllabus under the course requirements, and then there's this sort of general introduction here. And the narrowing that down to a specific question, a particular topic, a particular project, that's up to you. And my job is to help you to work that into a workable project. Now let me just say something else. This is an opportunity for you to find out about something that is not necessarily part of your formal coursework. It's an opportunity for you to extend your education into the field, so to speak, into the world, into the community in which you live or in which you plan to work. It's an opportunity for you to ask a question and to pursue the answers to that question and get course credit for it. I say it's an opportunity because when else do you have an opportunity to just learn about something and get something for it? So the other thing is, I want you to enjoy this project. This ought to be something that you look forward to doing, something that you want to find out, that you want to do this work. If you pick a field-based project that you don't enjoy or that you really have no interest in, you don't really have anybody to blame but yourself. You should pick something that you're interested in, that you want to do, and that fits the requirements of the course. I look forward to further questions. You can bounce ideas off me anytime. Send me a draft proposal. If you're not entirely sure, you can include some questions. How should I shape this? What do you recommend? What resources might be available? I'm happy to answer those kinds of questions. But really, you have to initiate this because it's coming from you. It's your proposal. It's your project. It's your course credit.